Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Sleeping Goddess, where we talk about spirituality, self-growth, self-actualization, healing, becoming the person that you envision for yourself, the ups and downs that comes with that, and just everything about just bettering yourself. Here's a space that we talk about it. And today I wanted to talk about the Matrix, the new Matrix, the Resurrection, which I watched a couple nights ago, and that movie was amazing. I already loved the other Matrixes, but this I think was a good refresher. I really enjoyed the new Matrix, so if you haven't seen it yet, you should watch it. And I'm just going to talk about what I got from it and not really give any spoilers or anything like that. But more so, what I wanted to focus on was the Trinity that is within all of us and kind of her storyline in this movie and how that played out and what I took from it and lessons that I've learned that I feel like could be beneficial to you and myself along the journey. So Trinity, I love her character. She's someone that I definitely resonated with from the moment I watched the first Matrix. I was like, yeah, I want to be Trinity. Like, I don't know, I just vibe with her. And what we see in the movie is clearly she's alive and she's now living a different life. She has another name. Um, and she's like now a mom. She has a husband and stuff like that. So she's living a very like kind of different, more quote unquote normal life within the Matrix. But there's aspects of her that connect to Trinity, like her working on motorcycles and doing stuff like that. But what was interesting is when she finally talked to Neo in their new life, and as they talked about the Matrix, she just talked about how she resonated with his character that he had created, which was Trinity, obviously, and how she resonated with her. She felt like she had even looked like her. Um, she loved motorcycles too, so she was just talking about how much this character Trinity resonated with her, and it felt very kind of familiar, but clearly it didn't add up with the life that she's currently living. And what I got from this basically is there's different things that we resonate with that shows us an aspect of ourselves or the more complete version of who we are. And that can come from, for myself, resonating with a character like Trinity or people who have similar qualities. Um, or anybody that I kind of resonate with, or anything that I kind of resonate with, whether it's like you're interested in Reiki, maybe there's something that you need to delve into or look more into because there's something within you that is drawing you or feels a connection to this thing. And everything in the physical is, kind of helping us figure ourselves out um, along the journey. And for Trinity's character, I think her name was Tiff or Trish or something. Um, she resonated with this character, but she obviously did not remember her past life experiences um, that she had, but there was something very familiar that she felt when she met Neo for the first time in their new life. And there was something about their conversation that also reignited something in her, which I thought was beautiful because within my own experience, I've had someone in my life who was someone that ignited something in me to start delving deeper into myself. And, I'll always appreciate this person and just for being there and helping me to remember. And I felt like that's what Neo did with their interaction at the coffee shop when they finally got to sit down and really talk about his work, the video game that he had created, and the different characters as well. That helped reignite a spark in her, some of her memory of things. I think she had a dream afterwards. But the main thing that I saw in the beginning was there's an aspect of her that she knew was in her, that she knew she would enjoy, but it wasn't represented in her current physical life. And it was somewhat of a yearning for that part and that aspect of her to be acknowledged, and also expressed, to be acknowledged and expressed. And she tells Neo that, she shows her husband at the time a clip from the game, and once the clip finishes, he just doesn't really say anything. And she's like, well, don't you think she kind of looks like me? And then he laughs. And when he laughed, she said she laughed also, but she said that she was very upset with herself for doing that. And that's something that I feel like happens a lot within our own lives when we may tell someone about a dream or a goal or something we would like to do or accomplish. There's sometimes people that are just like, that would never happen. And it's like, yeah, like you kind of like just brush it off and kind of go along, just so you don't really disrupt, I guess, the flow or like whatever other perception this person has of you. But in the mix of doing that, you're denying yourself as well, which is why she felt upset for laughing too, because she knew she looked like Trinity and she really resonates with that character. So for her husband, someone that she loves and deals with, to not see that within her means that he can't see her fully. Um, and what I also got from this was just the dual aspects of the feminine. There is the side of us that is very nurturing, the mother, the wife, the caretaker, you know, doing those type of things. But then there's also the quote unquote wild side, which is a different aspect of our nature, which is more for her the Trinity side, which is like the warrior, the fighter, um, saving the world, having like this strong love connection with someone who's very powerful and has a bigger ambition and goal and mission beyond just their day-to-day aspects. And you could see throughout the movie kind of the pull and tug between both worlds. And at the end, it's really up to her to choose which one does she want to follow, which one does she want to represent, and which one is more true to her. Um, Not to say the mother aspect and that is not true to her, but there's something deeper in her that she resonates with and she wanted to tap into. And I feel like we all have something within us that's a calling, a drive, an idea, a goal, a dream, a hobby, anything that we feel drawn to and want to do, but feel like it may not be possible because other people don't see it possible for us. We haven't seen other people accomplish it. Um, it may seem too big. It may seem too outlandish. It may not resonate with the current character that you are right now and who you are and where you are at. But there's still something within you that's like, I need to, I want to do this, or I would like to try this, or would like to be just express myself in different ways. And a quote that stood out to me that they had in the bathroom wall was, it's easier to bury your reality than it is to bury your dreams. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't think about. The Alchemist is kind of a book that kind of touches on this also. Following your dreams and letting go of your reality. And along his journey in The Alchemist, he meets a shop owner, I think, who had like this dream of, I can't remember what his dream was necessarily, but now he was like older. He never really went after his dream. And it was just something he kind of always thought about. And I feel like a lot of us experience that, especially in the world that we live in, as a child, as we're growing up, when we're young, and less jaded and less conditioned and programmed to the world and society that we live in, we have a lot of grand ideas and grand perspectives on ourselves and what is capable within us. Um, and it gets kind of uh, buried in just going through the day to day of reality and trying to hold on to um, whatever structure that you have. But throughout your life, there's still a yearning. There's an 80-year-old man who wanted to sing and he never sung. And then, he might finally take that chance when he's 80 to take some singing lessons or piano lessons or whatever the case may be. I feel like a lot of us have these goals, these desires and dreams that we kind of bury, but it leaves us feeling lack. It leaves us yearning, feeling like there's something that's missing because we're not taking action on it. Um, and I like that they just had put that quote in there, kind of discreetly, like you could easily miss it, but it is really easier to bury your current reality to go after your dreams because your dreams is what's going to fulfill you. Staying in the current cycle that you're in, or um, if that's not something that you enjoy or you have different goals, like is it's a lot harder to live a life when you're not really happy and fulfilled compared to going after something that you desire. And really love. And that's something that they kind of touch on, just about the people in the Matrix kind of yearning for something while also trying to hold on to what they have, and scared to lose that, simultaneously. So that's something they touched on as well. But at the end of the day, what the Matrix shows is that it comes down to choice. For Trinity to get out of the Matrix, like it wasn't only Neo coming to her and stuff like that and them kind of unplugging her, she still had to make that choice for herself. And I think it also emphasizes the power of choice. And we have the freedom and free will, to make choices every day that will lead us to a certain direction. There's certain choices that someone takes that leads them to being a teacher, to being a CEO, to being an artist, to being an NBA player, to doing whatever. There's certain choices that these people are making that's gonna get them to an end result. Um, I think the important thing that you see within the Matrix is that choice and taking actions that are outside of your norm is what really brings out the freedom. Um, and for Neo, what got him kind of out of the Matrix was when he stopped taking his medication, that his psychiatrist gave him, which were these blue pills. And once he stopped taking those blue pills, he he started to make new choices, and one of his choices was to finally go and talk to Trinity, which is someone he saw in the coffee shop for days, for years, and never went up to speak to her. And that conversation alone did a lot for them and did a lot for Trinity to reignite, um, that fire and just remembrance of who she truly was. And if he never did that, she may have still continued to be in the Matrix, or it would have been harder to get her out if she didn't have that connection beforehand. So you never know as well what your choices and you stepping outside of the norm and the normal program, or what people think you should be doing, or what you even feel like you should be doing versus what you want to do. What that will do for yourself, but then also what that may do for others, um, was something that, uh, I thought was just really important that they had emphasized, just the free will and the choice. Um, Lastly, something else that was really powerful, just based off of the Trinity side, and I think the feminine aspect, is the power of love. And love is really what pushed Neo to go after Trinity, to break out of the matrix so that he could be with her again. And throughout the movie, you see multiple times where someone says, you have to fight or you need to push if you want to see her again, or you won't be able to see her again. And every time someone brought her up and the aspect of maybe not being able to see her again, it pushed him to a different level of energy that he wasn't able to tap into previously. And what that shows for me is, one, the power of love and what that could do for you and how that could push you and motivate you forward, but then also having a purpose and a why that's connected to your heart, to your inner being, so that you could always have something to remind yourself, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing today. This is why I'm on this routine. This is why I'm working out. This is why I choose to wake up every day and take care of my family. This is why I choose to go after my goals. And having something that's beyond the external, something that's deep from within, that's a driving force, because that force will always be there. Whatever that why is for yourself, I think being able to identify it and really sit with yourself and feel that feeling, that drive, that love, um, and what it would feel if you didn't accomplish that, and then also what it would feel like if you did accomplish that. um, I think would be very beneficial to the journey, and just their love story overall, how the feminine one had brought out this aspect of Neo to begin with in the first Matrix. It was Trinity, the feminine energy, who believed in the masculine energy, which was Neo. And she believed in him before he even believed in himself. And I feel like with Trinity, she was that internal force, that driving force that drove Neo in the beginning to believe in himself, to so that he could tap into his power, his force. And then this time around, um, it was Neo who had to believe in Trinity and that she would um, make the right choices for herself and want to come out of the matrix and all of that. He had to believe in her. So I just enjoyed also the aspect of the masculine and feminine, how that was demonstrated, and how everybody has their time, everybody has their role. Um, what you see in your partner is a reflection of yourself also. What we see at the end is that Trinity is able to fly, and that's something she wasn't able to do before. And this time around, Neo wasn't able to fly. So they had similar gifts and similar power and ability, um, which I thought was beautiful to see how it was expressed and when um, it was expressed also. Um, so yeah, those are some things I got just looking at kind of um, Trinity's journey throughout the movie. There's a lot of other things I got, but I just more so, I guess, wanted to focus on Trinity because she is the feminine role in that, and I see a lot of comparisons in myself, and I think also other women, of just having um, these dual aspects of yourself, having other commitments like family, children, work, and things that may be pulling you away, or maybe or may be an excuse for why you feel like you may not be able to achieve something. Um, and those things in the movie were really keeping her in the matrix, her ties to her kids, to her family. You see at the end when it's time for her to make her choice if she wants to go with Neo, her family and her husband just come in and they're like, yeah, we gotta go, like someone's in the hospital, blah 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 blah. So there's gonna be things that are gonna be pulling at you. There's gonna be distractions. There's gonna be excuses for why you feel like you may not be able to tap into this aspect of yourself that you feel that is there, but it's up to you to make that choice and to make that decision. That choice is always there, and that's the thing with the Matrix. free will is a part of the matrix. The choice is always there to change your perspective, to change your actions, to get out of the programs that were set for you, the programs that were conditioned into you, the programs that were assigned to you. When you go to work, you're assigned a role, a title, specific jobs and duties that you have to take care of. Same thing as a mother, there's specific roles and duties and aspects that come with that. But we're multi-dimensional. There's multiple aspects of us, and it's on us to fulfill these actions, to fulfill these goals, so that we could have a fulfilled life and not go through a life where we feel like we have buried our dreams and it's just something that we're yearning for throughout our lives, because it leaves us feeling very much empty, and the cup half full kind of mentality. And I think it was beautiful just to see Trinity go through that experience and have people around her who didn't necessarily view her the way that she viewed herself internally, and what she resonated with. But at the end of the day, she was still um, able to reconnect with that because she had connected with someone um, who ignited that spark within her. And that's why I think it's also important to have people around you, but especially a partner, whether that's male, female, um, anything like that, to have someone around you that helps you remember yourself, remember who you are truly deep inside, not who your parents told you to be, not who society told you to be, not what you went to school for. Um, really tap into you and could see you as a whole, even if you may not express these aspects of yourself all the time, but being around people who can see you, who acknowledge you, who give you the room to express yourself, to find yourself. It could be hard sometimes to want to um, let go of certain responsibilities or attachments that we have, um, to do things that we may feel are better for ourselves, or to take a risk on ourselves. I feel like we do really like security and stability, to a certain extent. And sometimes that comes with us letting go of our goals and our dreams and what we may truly want in our hearts and in our lives. So yeah, that's kind of my take from the Trinity experience and the Matrix. And if you guys have anything, just put it in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching.